Are you ready to become awesomer? Hello everyone, this is Umar Hamid, your host, and welcome to the No Limit Selling Podcast, where industry leaders share their tips, strategies, and advice on how to make you better, stronger, faster. Get ready for another episode. Today, I have the privilege of having Joël Le Bon here with me today. Joël, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Umar. I'm pleased to be here with you.
So you teach marketing and sales at Johns Hopkins Carey School of Business.
Yes, I'm a marketing and sales professor, I like to say. My official title is marketing professor, but I like to call myself a marketing and sales professor because I do teach sales, and I think sales is as important as marketing. In fact, marketing is good as long as you can sell what you have to market.
The ultimate reality for marketing is, do people buy? And I was just talking to this company. What they do is they set appointments.
Yeah.
And they've gotten 75 appointments with plant managers around North America for this client. And guess how many they closed?
1?
0.
Oh, right.
And they're like, okay, this is not a marketing problem.
It's right.
This is a sales problem. If you had 75 conversations, even accidentally, you had to close one, right?
Yeah.
So, interesting things. The reason I've been so excited to have this conversation is we met at the Peak Performance Mindset retreat in Las Vegas earlier this year.
Yes.
And the whole reason for the retreat was to really, how do we get the right mindset to build the careers and the businesses and the lives that we want?
Yes.
And who put that on?
Gerhard Geschwander, the founder of the Sales 3.0 conference.
Yeah, and Selling Power magazine.
Yes.
Pretty cool guy. Yeah. And so you're minding your own business. The conference starts Friday morning, and you hear that, Friday afternoon you're going to go racing Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
Were you excited to do that?
Yeah, in fact, I didn't do it because I already did that,
years ago?
Yes, years ago, and it was great. So I just decided I'm not going to do that. I will do the golf hole-in-one.
The hole-in-one, this whole
golf
mindset.
the next day. And so I just had fun recording my friends doing the, car driving experience.
Brilliant.
Yes.
So that evening, that the next morning there's going to be either a hole-in-one experience or skydiving, a tandem jump from 13,000 feet.
Yeah.
I knew with certainty, there's no way I'm going to jump.
Oh,
so tell me about that mindset. When you said, I'm not going to jump, what were you thinking?
So I know part of this mindset conference. In fact, at the conference, I was an observer because Gerhard made me a chief academic researcher of the mindset conference. So
excellent.
So to research and understand how people change their mindset and then he said, so the Saturday you can do the skydiving or the hole-in-one in golf if you want. I said, skydiving, no, I will never do that. So of course, sign me for the hole-in-one because I play golf and I would love to do a hole-in-one or to learn how to get my mindset on that. And that's it. So no, it was not even a question. Not before, not even the day before. It was
So that evening, and that's where I met you, I came to dinner because I was going to be teaching the next day.
Yes.
There was a gentleman there by the name of John DeVore.
Right.
He started telling stories about, he was going to take us skydiving.
That's the instructor.
So what in his stories, what in his message got you to leave the harbor and contemplate, I'm not going to do the hole-in-one, I'm going to do the skydiving? So explain that internal process.
It was not even at the dinner in the evening because so I was sitting not too far away from him, and he was talking about his experience. Great guy, great experience.
He works for the Red Bull aeronautical team, so
exactly,
adventurer, explorer.
Exactly, and he was talking about his family. He's from Alaska, and so I was listening to his experience, and I found that very, very interesting. His personal journey and why he chose to do skydiving and for a living, because this is his passion. And I was just listening, And then I asked him a question, why do you do that? Like, I mean, I understand it's your passion and what
Right.
you like, but why do you do that? And then he said, well, for freedom. And then I look at him and I thought we were already in the land of the free, you know. And so it's and so why do you have to be in the sky to feel free? And then he said, well, it's really about freedom. So of course freedom is very important, right? As a feeling.
Okay, well, let me just challenge that a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have the lives that they have,
Yeah.
and they have this illusion of freedom, but they got a very
Right.
structured life
Yeah.
that is a gilded cage.
Right.
So they have the illusion of freedom, but they have responsibilities, and this is the safe place I stay in.
Yep.
It's just like joining a health club. It's like you don't have to go there. Just knowing that you have a membership makes you feel healthier.
Yes.
But please go on. So he's talking about freedom.
Yeah, and the way he put that in a very simple way that got me thinking about what you just said, the very concept of freedom as a human being.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is what got me thinking. There is something very interesting with skydiving is you face your own mortality right
In
there.
a real way.
This is real, right? I mean, this is real. But you have the freedom to choose. So this is what got me thinking about the freedom to choose something which can be dramatic
Yeah.
for you, but also for your family, because in fact, when you're gone, and your family remains, and there's a huge impact on so many other people, but you can choose. But John is, for me, John is a hero, right? He's a professional, he's an artist, but he's a hero because he has a family, he has children, and he does that in a very, very professional way. So he masters his passion and his craft, and he enjoys freedom.
Yes.
Right? So there's no way we can do that with just one John, but we can think about how do we really, in our lives, with our craft, feel free. And then I started to think about it's the freedom of choice. And then I started to think about, well, the problem I had with that was also I said to my family, in fact, a couple of weeks before going to the skydiving, the mindset retreat with the skydiving experience, we were talking about that with my family, and I said, no, we don't do that. It's not something we do because it can be very dramatic, and I never thought about the freedom part.
Yeah. So you hear this thing, you're thinking freedom.
Yeah.
When you went to bed that night,
Yes.
were you, I'm going to jump, or was it still, I'm not going to jump?
No, so what I did, I don't know if you noticed that while you were there, I texted my family. And I said,
You mentioned that the next day.
Yeah. So I started to think, I then, kind of shut down and started to really think deeply about what freedom means for me, but also for my family. I mean, my children, you want to have children and raise them for their own freedom.
Yeah.
To embrace the world and to feel free. And when you tell your family this is something we don't do, because of course you're scared, and you want to protect them, are you really protecting them by telling them something they should not do if it's about freedom? So I texted them and I said, what do you think I jump out of a plane
Or not?
tomorrow? Yeah.
And your children reported back, yes, absolutely.
Do it. One of my daughter, the one we had the discussion a couple of weeks before going to the retreat, and she was turning, 19 in October, she just said, if you do it, I do it, because in August, when we were talking about that, she said, oh, this is what I want to do for my birthday. So she said, if you do it, I do it. I said, okay, you do it with the same instructor then. And my other children, they said, just do it. And my wife never replied. So so the dinner is over, and And then I go to my room and I really think about what is it that I'm gonna do tomorrow. It's crazy because you go to sleep every night. It's part of your day. Mm-hmm. It's part of your routine. You're not thinking about, you're thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow, but usually it's already on your agenda and you kind of know what you have to do. That night, I didn't know what I was going to do the next day because I started to think about maybe I should do it, but I always said I should not, I will not, and we will not. So it got me thinking about what will be the next day about.
So you wake up in the morning, and then what were your thoughts that morning?
It's literally I wake up with a song in my mind. Jackson 5. You want to start to do something, you gotta start to do something.
Right.
It's start to do something. That was the song, and that's crazy.
That was a sign.
Yes, it was a sign. I have that song in my mind. I want to start to do something. You better start. And then the next song was Let It Be. It was very strange. I wake up with, I like poetry, I like songs, I like this because these are little, treasures you keep in your mind, and sometimes they come back to you with a meaning. And I woke up with this, and this is what you have in your mind, but it says a lot. So I called my wife, and I said, "So what do you think?" She says, "Think about what?" I said, "Oh, come on, the text with discussion." And she said, "Well, you know what I think? You always say that you won't do that."
In fact, it's not that. She wanted to do it when you got married, and
That's
you shut
true.
her down.
Oh, yeah. Before we got married, when we met, she said...
And women always remember.
Yes.
Remember that.
Yes.
So at some point, you decide that you're going to go with us to the place to jump, but you haven't decided to jump yet or not.
So so we discussed, and she reminded me who I was.
Yes.
Saying no, and that she wanted to do it, and I also, because I love her, and I said, no, don't do that. We don't have to do that. There's so many other things we can do. But that was when she was only 16 at that time. And then I said, okay, so but the children said yes. The children said yes. And this, and all of them, this is our children, and then she said yes, of course. They said yes.
They're children.
But you said no. But you said no. and then so it's
she's not happy.
No.
And so
she's confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a contradiction between the man, the person, the Joel she knows, and the man, the person, the father, and the Joel she's talking to right now.
And I think if I'm quoting her correctly, I didn't hear her say this, but I heard you say it was like she was saying, you just met these people.
Yes, that's true.
You've known me your life, and you met these people, now you want to jump out of a frickin' plane.
Yeah.
So you get in the car with us.
But I'm not jumping. I'm just going to watch.
We're going to the airfield to go jumping, but you're not jumping.
No.
So you're in the back of the car.
Yeah.
And you're ruminating, should I go or should I not go?
Yeah.
We get to this place.
Yep.
They take us in this room.
Yes.
To give us the contract.
Yes.
And to show us a video.
Yes.
About, the dangers of jumping. Talk to me about the video.
So the contract and the video, scary.
Very scary.
Very scary. Disclosure. You see that, basically they want you to know that you can die and you are fully responsible of that, which is your freedom.
Yes.
To live or to die right there.
This is probably the best video I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because the guy's talking seriously, like, you could die or be injured, and they show a freaking picture of an ambulance.
Oh, yes. They show, yeah.
So they want you to chicken out.
Yeah. Yeah. They want you to be aware of everything, what may happen before going to the plane, all the, materials, and, while being in the plane, after the plane, you cannot trust the plane, you cannot trust the material, you cannot, it's on you.
And so the contract, which was like 8-10 pages, and it has this warning thing across the front.
Oh, yeah.
And to everybody else, the warning thing was like, I didn't really see it, but in the mental state you were in,
that
warning looked really big.
Oh, that was the only thing I was seeing.
And did you see it in black and white, or did you see it in color?
No, black and white.
Black and white, okay, that's what it was. At that point, you were having serious doubts. So what was going on in your mind and your body and your heart?
Well, so I started to read, so there's a lot of things to read, and I started to write my name, and I'm writing my name, and I stopped right there, because I was thinking, wow, we still haven't discussed this with my wife.
Yeah.
And I can see from the video that this can be dangerous. Of course, I know this is maybe, of course, why I didn't want to do it. Yet, freedom is important. So and then the video comes back, because it's rotating.
Loop,
yes. And then you did something great, because everyone. They were done with signing and all, because they were prepared. They knew they were going to do that. They prepared for the past 2 months. Me, it was just for the past 2 hours.
Yes.
So you shut that damn TV down, which was great. So I wanted to concentrate. And you also asked me before, hey, you want to, we can talk about this.
Can I help you?
Yes, can I help you?
No,
and I said no. I said no.
So what's happening at that point? We've shut off the video,
Yep.
You're still signing the papers, and then your thoughts are going very, very quickly.
Very quickly.
What were the thoughts in your head?
Is this the right thing to do right now? Because I can do it later, right? I can prepare my family, I can prepare my wife, I can prepare myself, and I can do it later. The problem I had was that is my personal motto is your life is now.
Right.
This is really my personal motto. I try to enjoy life as best as I can, and I like this song from John Mellencamp. And your life is now is very important. It's now for everyone, and so for me it's now. So now I am confronting myself with it's now your life or.
So your belief system, I believe you need to do it now.
Yeah.
But your body, because at that point, there is a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress.
Yeah.
You're showing visible signs that something is definitely not right. So there's this struggle.
Yeah.
And your mind is using a really powerful tool, rationalization.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do it now. I can do it later. I can make sure everything's okay.
Right.
So you've got these warring things going on.
Yep.
And at one point, you decide and you say, Umar, I think I need help.
Let's go.
So what happened? What made you come to that realization that I can't do this myself, I need help?
First, I did not know you.
Of course,
Right? I mean, you're the guy you say, jump, put that song, jump in the car, and then
Which
you're the
is
guy you
funny.
say, can I help? It was funny because I was the other songs I had in my mind this morning. So I don't know you. You say I can help you. Well, okay, I think fine, very nice from you, but I don't know how. Throughout my personal, struggle, I didn't also find a way from myself to also help me. I didn't know how to help me.
Yeah.
Right? That personal family,
Dynamics. So
Right.
let me pause it right there. I suspect if somebody else was having that issue,
Mm-hmm.
that you would have been very helpful.
Oh.
That you would have known what to say.
Because
Maybe they
I
would have
was-
jumped or not.
right.
But it wasn't you
Right.
doing it. So sometimes when it's us, it changes the rule, right?
Right.
So anyway, what made you decide to trust me?
Well, you shut that TV down.
Yeah, that was huge. That you helped.
Yeah,
me shut
yeah,
it down.
exactly. So you understood exactly what I was going through, and you said, in fact, and you let me decide, because you asked me before, right, when the TV was running, because
Right.
you saw the contradiction going in my mind. I said no, and then I said, well, why not? So I said yes.
So then I take you
Yeah, so
outside.
it's the why not? It's the, why not, right? Why not?
So I'm not sure you remember when we went outside
Yes.
and no one else was around. You were shaking.
Oh, I was okay.
You had tears coming down your eyes.
Okay.
So this was like confronting that
Oh, yes.
humanity
Right.
at that point.
Right, right,
It was
right.
like you are in the grips of this major anxiety event.
Mhm.
And then I showed you a technique called grounding
Mm-hmm.
that connects you to the center of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And that had an immediate impact. Do you remember what that impact was?
Oh, totally. Yeah, it was quick. It was quick for me. It was actually what you did was reminding me who I was.
Yes.
By reminding me the importance of feeling alive,
right,
and feeling that you are there to live your life, and you are unique, and you are strong, and you are powerful, and this is the case for all of us. And sometimes we forget that because of struggles and
all those
others.
things.
And right.
So I show you how to ground, and literally within 30 seconds,
Yep.
all the anxiety leaves your body. And
Yeah,
you're
I felt
physically present.
I just remembered that time who I was when I was going to defend my PhD. And
Right.
Yeah, and I said, yeah,
So we grounded first to get you centered.
yeah, and
Then we said, okay, I want you to make a movie in your mind of how this jump should be, how you should be, improve the movie, maybe get channel John, our fearless leader.
yes,
How would he make it better? And then I got you to step into that movie so you could program your neurology and what to do. And then I'd asked you, tell me about a particular time you felt unstoppable. And you said, when I defended my PhD.
Yeah, I felt
and we got you to relive that emotion so you had the power you needed.
right,
And then you're ready to go.
right,
And then I did something despicable and underhanded. What I did was, what would your children think if you didn't walk your talk? And that was a moral imperative I linked to the whole thing. And when I said that, your whole body shifted the way you were standing, being. We got you to make a movie of what you really want to have happen and use this thing from applied neuroscience to step into it. Then we got you to feel unstoppable with that memory from the past of the defending of the PhD. And then I tied it in a nice bow with, because I know your family is so important to you, that the shame
Very
of not
important.
living the life you're telling them to live.
exactly.
And from that moment, you were like solid, ready to go.
Right, because
And all of that happened in like maybe 5 minutes.
yeah, I mean, for me it was even
Then you went and
shorter,
just did
shorter.
it.
Yeah, it was, for me it became obvious because of the freedom. So who am I to tell my children don't do that? Of course I'm the father,
Or you
but
tell
that's
them
my job
Yeah.
to free them.
to do that. And also when they want to do something.
Exactly.
And fear comes up, that if you were the person to let fear shut you down, how can you morally tell them to
Exactly,
do?
right?
So the freedom part was that, giving yourself...
Exactly. So and showing them that was wrong.
Okay, so here's what I want to tie it before we part company. Is in sales, people confront the humanity. Because some salespeople can go into accounts that are $10 million accounts and are bold and amazing. And the dream is to close $1 billion company. And all they need to do is the same presentation.
Yeah.
But the internal fear, doubt, comes up. And that sabotages their efforts. So in this experience that you did, and thank you for being brave enough to share it with us today, of not wanting to do something, then something changes and you decide to do it, then you get confronted with the fear and all the other pressure, then you overcome it. How would you equate that to sales? If you were training elite salespeople, how would you take this lesson? How would you put it in sales language or mindset language that they could learn from your experience?
So I like when you mentioned decide. It's really about deciding. You have
Yes.
a choice. You have a choice. And when it comes to actually jumping out of a plane where you cannot go back, right? You out there.
What you done, you done.
Yeah, right. So you can, fear the fight or fight the fear. And so I was able, with our discussion to fight the fear, and then I we jumped because you jumped after me too. Everyone jumped, so that was great. It was actually a thrill. Sales is exactly the same thing, especially for big, contracts, customers. So you can fear the fight or fight the fear, and decide to face adversity. I think sales is really about the ability to take punches and to come back, to bounce back, and to face adversity with no fear. But without that fear, you cannot fight back. So it's important to feel that fear, to fight back, and think that you can do anything. You can do anything if you are prepared. And in fact, the first fight is not the fight of the fist, it's the fight of the mind.
Yep.
if you are prepared with your mind, just like, with you when we did the grounding, and I was prepared now to do that. It looks like I was already prepared, but I was not prepared for my children. But when you are prepared, anything can happen, and you just go. And sales is about also making sure that you feel that you are the only one who can make it happen. You are the only one. You are the only one for yourself. You are the only one for the customers. And it's all about you making the decision to be that person at that moment. So if you let that fear takes over, you're only wasting time by giving time to that fear.
Right.
So overcoming that fear gives you back your own personal choice of being free.
Absolutely. And the paradox is that fear, when you're in that fear mode, you're freaking awesome.
Yes.
You're at the height of your powers.
That's
on that fear,
exactly.
and we use that fear to shut ourselves down.
Yeah.
But if you just turn that energy around, it gives you the energy you need to execute.
Yes.
Because your reaction time is the fastest. Your ability to focus on what's most important is that it's heightened powers.
Yes. And you're aware of what's going on. You are so into your universe.
Hyper-awareness.
So you understand, you see, you feel, because, so I teach sales, and in my different class, I used to teach a concept which I call fail better, because I think failure is very important.
Failure is better, fail better.
Fail better, fail.
That could be a really good book title.
Well, in fact, I changed it now to fear better, because it's you have to face the situation where you can fear in the face of fear.
So fear better.
Fear better, exactly.
He's French, you can't help it, folks. Joel, thank you so much for sitting down with me and being fearless in this conversation, because most people would not admit to having that fear, because we all want to be brave, and the reality is when you're the strongest among us, you openly share your experience.
Exactly, and I just wanted to be also brave for my children, just not for myself. And in fact, what was very nice is they told me afterwards they were very proud of me.
I'm going to give you a high five before we part. Thanks a lot. Let's go get lunch.
Yes, thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, please go to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating. And if you're looking for more tools, go to my website at nolimitselling.com. I've got a free mind training course there that's going to teach you some insights from the world of neuro-linguistic programming, and that is the fastest way to get better results.